In this video I'm going to be showing how to take apart a KTM 85SX gearbox and put it back together and show where the washers go. Just if you've ever bought a gearbox and it's in bits and you don't know which washers and where it goes. KTM 85 SX03 to 2011, most part of the same, but I'm certain 2003 up to 2017 are the same gearboxes. So if that's the case, be able to help people all the way up to 2017 gearboxes. If not, just up to 2011. You've got these washers here which are thin. You've got your kickstart idler cog goes on there. One washer goes on each side, and there's a bearing, and then I think it's this bigger washer goes on, and then one of these thin washers goes behind that cog. This big fattest washer of the lot goes on the end of there, but I'll show all that as I'm building it up. So I'm going to strip it down now, put all the parts laid out. Just got that cog there. See the lip? That lip goes on there, so this bit's flush with that. Then we've got that cog. Always check these, I'll show why in a bit, but they're good. So we've got that off now. And there's a still tiny small washer. And there's a snap ring. I'll just pause it to get that off. And that's it there. Then slide that cog off. Just check them legs. They're all good, as I said before. They're all square. Check all the teeth as well for cracks and chips. Then there's another snap ring in here. And that's a snap ring off now. It was in there, in that groove in the bottom. You can just see it. You'll be able to see it if I lift that cog up. It's in that groove. Then it gets stuck into that groove. Anyway, it's just the same as the others I've took off. So put that there. Got this little cog here. Comes off that way. As mentioned loads in this video, they're square, so that's alright. I'll show at the end why I'm on about them. So that goes there. And that's that shaft. Just end teeth. Always keep the nut on there as well, because these threads are dead fine. If I move past it, if you drop this by accident, I've dropped cranks before and it's dented the threads. So just always get your nut so it's just over the threads so nothing can damage them. Right, so that's that one. You see that these washers here are 05s. It's 05 fatness. So that's them. I've got this one. It's 15 and 25, the same as these. 15 inside, 25 on the outside. But this one here is 1mm fat. If you watch. That one's 1mm, so that's that washer. That goes there, and that's the size of it if you can see it on camera. And then you've got this one. It's 16 in the middle and 26 on the downside, but it's 1mm fat as well. Just show it there, it's 1mm fat. That's what's in the middle, and it's just sliding loosely. And that's the one that's 26, the big one. So that's them, that's the washers anyway. So that's the proper size washers to go on the proper way. So now we're going to strip this shaft here. I've put the washers what were under there in the right place. This washer here from the middle and one of these thin washers. That's one of the washers. That's the fattest washer. What was in the middle of the pile here. So that, put that there. There is two more washers. What's under here and the kickstart idler cog. What goes on there. But when that washer there is on, then the bearing's on, So the washer's behind the bearing, and then a little fin washer from under here goes on, then the kickstart idler cog, then another fin washer goes on here on top of the idler cog, then the circlip goes in that groove. But anyway, we'll get this stripped down. So that's the washer off. Got this off, it's got a bearing inside. That's it there. There's one of the fin washers. Oh, there was 3. That's where that one goes. Now pull this off. They're all good. Now there's a snap ring in there, so I'll just pause it to get that off. That's that snap ring off. Slide this cog off. This one was tight to get off, but that's it off. That's it on that side. And I've got this one. This just slides off as well. That's what it looks like there. That's what it looks like on that side. I've got a snap ring there, so I'll just pause it to get that out. That's that snap ring off now. Now I've got this. Just pulls off. All in good condition. This has got a snap ring on as well, so we'll get that snap ring off that. That's a split pin from down there now, so we'll just pop that off. It's just the same as the other 3 split pins, and that's what we're left with. That cog there, like that. It just comes off that way. Looks like it's got a bearing in the middle. That's the cog anyway. And always remember, when you've done your gearbox, put that little rubber seal on there first. If I had a pick, I'd pick it off, but I don't know where my picks are. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can get it off. Yeah, it's just a little O-ring, so just don't forget to get that on. So we'll put that there. That's the shaft. Then we'll start rebuilding it all. Now we're going to do this shaft. First you get that cog. Goes on that way. It's got 21 teeth on. Just slide that on first, and you can see a groove there for a snap ring, and that's a snap ring on down the bottom there. Now you get this cog. It's 16 and 19. That the big part goes on first, the 19 teeth, so that just slides on. I was on about those squares earlier in the video. They've got a lock on your bike, and if they're rounded, when you're changing gear, it just comes over there, say it's square, and it just rounds and it just jumps out of gear. So if you've got a bike what's jumping out of a certain gear, they'll be rounded. But anyway, that's that on. It's another snap ring into there, so that's a circlip in. Now you've got this little disc. If you ever look at part diagrams, a 2004 gearbox hasn't got this on the part diagram, but if you look at a 2008, it has got this. But anyway, that goes on there like that, just goes on top of the circlip. You get this cog, like I said before, check they're all square, which they are. Do you want to keep going on about it, they're all square there, as that locks up. When that comes up, it locks. Oh, and I forgot, that goes into there, into that top cog, that collar, and push that on. So it's looking like that. Just make sure everything's moving up and down alright and stuff. And then the biggest washer of the lot, which is this one, which only fits on this shaft, goes onto there like that. And when you take your gearbox out and you look at your bearing, you'll see that washer on the bearing still. But anyway, that's that shaft done. So we'll get on with doing the next one. So now we'll put this shaft back together. First of all, get your little rubber ring. Just push it on. Just pushes all the way down to the bottom of there. This cog. That's at that side, and that's at that side. You can see it's deeper dished. The deeper dish goes at the back, so it fits on that way, with the thinner dish facing like that. Then a circlip goes on there, so that's a circlip in. Just make sure it's seated. Just it's got to run through them two circlip gaps to get to that one. Anyway, now you've got that cog to go on. So just push that down, put a circlip in there. I'll just pause it. That's a circlip on. Now it's this cog. And this is 26 teeth. That's 26 teeth as well, that cog. Goes on that way. That side isn't as deep a dish as that side. And it's got that raised bit. Anyway, I'll just slide that on. Then we've got this one. This one's 26 teeth. It just slides on. But if you can see on there, that one's bigger than that one. And the way the cogs on that cog slant down on one side and they don't slant down on the other. Same with that slants down that way on that cog. But it's flat that way where the selector fork goes. Now it's a circlip, and then that's to go on next. So I'll pause it and put the circlip in. That's the circlip in there. Just make sure it clips in. Now we've got this. It's the one the selector fork runs in. That just slots on that way. Yeah. Now one of the fin washers go on, the 0.5 width ones. So just slide that on. This cog, it's got 29 teeth. That's it there, it's deep dished on one side and flat on the other. Goes on that way with the deep dish going into the engine, going in towards those cogs, I should say. You can see there, that's not deep dished compared to the other side. Now another washer goes on, which is that one, the 1mm fatness one. That just slides on there like that, sits on there. Like I say, when you pull your gearbox out, this cog always comes off, and there's that washer, and there's the washer I've just put in underneath, always drop out. But anyway, you've got that washer sits behind the bearing. Once the bearing goes on, you get one of these fin washers, the 0.5mm fatness washers one. The bearing will be there in between this washer and that washer, so that'll be sat on the bearing. Then you put your kickstart idler cog on, which fits on that way. See, it's got you can see it's got that bit sticking out. That goes on that way onto there, and that other washer goes on there, and then the circlip goes on there and keeps it on. Like if the circlip was on, this cog would be round about there, with that washer moved up as well. So when you put, anyway, that clearance there, that's where the bearing goes. But anyway, that's that gearbox done.